Hi everybody, it's Annette from the Art of Intuition. Today we're going to talk about how it can be easy opening up. It doesn't always have to be the hard way. It doesn't always have to be with something very traumatic. And we're going to show that by Luke Skywalker. So anyone who has watched The Mandalorian saw the epic scene in the end when Luke Skywalker comes in and he saves the day. He's a hero. He's doing something heroic. And what we saw after that was how easy it can be when we really let our emotions go. Now, I'm going to talk about men here, and even though there are a lot of women that love Star Wars, I am one of them. The only thing that would have made this better for me personally is if Chewbacca with his crossbow and Han Solo were running right after Luke and coming in to save the day with him, because I am a Han Solo girl and always will be. But to watch the reaction of the men, and men of all ages, and I've been sort of watching it the last, day. It was kind of riveting to me to watch men that are age 8, 20, 30, 15, 50, it didn't matter, bawling to see Luke Skywalker come in and kick ass and save the day. And just to watch all of these men open up and cry. And there were some that couldn't stop crying. I watched one video of this guy, he cried for like 10 minutes, he couldn't pull it together. And it was beautiful, it was the most beautiful thing. And the other most beautiful thing was watching all the men around them, because sometimes it was, a bunch of dudes together, watching it together. They were all just hands on each other's shoulder going, I'm with you. I feel the same way. I'm crying too, and it's okay. It's okay to cry. We're all crying. It was supportive, and it opened people up, and it opened up a part of the collective. Like, I'm going to say that this collective, you were affected by this if you're part of that collective. If you're not part of that collective, it didn't get to you. And that's okay, because you're part of something else that does get to you. But sometimes it can be so easy. We don't have to have something traumatic happen. We get opportunities all the time to open up. And there was the other scene at the end when, Mando had to take off his mask, and I call him Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda could see him. And that was making everybody cry, because it gave people just all these emotions to come up and to clear the body. Cleared the body, and it got to people where they needed it to get to. It got right to the heart of it. And it caused people to just completely open up. A part of the collective that normally doesn't. Now, we all have masculine energy, we all have feminine energy. We all have both. But there is a part about the men shifting and the men opening up that needs to happen. It needs to happen, and it's just time. And this is one of the gateways to that. People will think when these writers and producers are in a room and they're talking about what can happen, and they get a flash of, oh, we could bring Luke in. And how are we going to do that? They get those ideas because that's what they're supposed to do. This series was supposed to do that. This series was supposed to have Luke come in like that. It was supposed to open up this collective, shift this collective, bring up all those emotions to clear the body, expand the consciousness of this collective, releasing all that stuff that was holding them in one vibration. They were supposed to do it that way. That was their agreement to do it. Oh, that song was playing in my head like the rest of the day. It Had to Be You. I don't even know who sings it, it's an old song. And it made me think that, yeah, it had to be. They could have gotten someone else to play Luke, they could have done whatever, but in that moment, people needed to see him. That collective needed to see him. He was the one that they needed. It had to be him. They had to do it that way. That was their agreement. I also thought about A New Hope, which I've seen like 1,000 times. At least 1,000 times I've seen it. And I never really got, it's crazy, right? I'm like, A New Hope. Oh, we were talking about Luke. Why didn't I never get that? Okay, whatever, I never got it. But it had to be him. That's what it was going to take for that collective. It was absolutely beautiful. And I have enjoyed watching the outpour. I have enjoyed just seeing that shift. So when you look at it, think of the shift. If you're not part of that collective, it doesn't matter. You can still appreciate the shift. Something else will get to you. You're part of something else, and that's beautiful too. But for the ones of us who are part of this one, and especially the massive amount of men of all ages it hit, it just shows that it doesn't always have to be so hard. We'll always have these beautiful moments where we can release emotion and open up, and it can be for something that makes us really joyful. We just don't allow that much. But this was so overwhelming, they could not feel it. They couldn't not feel the emotion of it. So, to the writers and the producers, thank you for honoring your agreement, opening up that collective, and keep practicing the art of intuition.